At this point, as we look at it, we hit 113, 109, 182, 184, 127, and 117, which gives us a total of 772 damage. I would like to see somebody, especially a non-rogue, live through this. If you like this kind of stuff, make sure that you do like the video and comment and subscribe, turn on notifications. I hate having to ask that, but if I don't ask it, my channel doesn't grow as fast as it does whenever I do ask it, because people forget that they can like the video, that they can comment, that they can subscribe and notify, turn on notifications and stuff. So do that stuff real quick. I've decided to revisit my Arcane Trickster build because it has been one of my most controversial builds on the YouTube platform. A lot of people have asked questions about it, told me I suck. So I want to go into it and change some stuff because I did make a mistake. I did realize that early on. And I also want to defend some of the reasons why I'm doing the stuff I'm doing. So with that, let's dig in. At level 1, we're going to be going with Elf, simply because I get extra bonuses to Dexterity and Intelligence, which will go for my Roguish and Wizard type stuff that I'm doing with Arcane Tricksters. Also, that also gives me some Elven immunity to sleep effects and all that good stuff with enchantment. But the most important thing is looking at the bows, long swords, and bows, because I'm doing a ranged build. Get over it. We're going with the regular wizard because we want to be able to have our arcane bond. We want to be able to cast as many wizard spells as we want. This is why we're not going for arcane bomber or the Thessalonian specialist or the scroll savant. We want to be able to cast as many spells as we can and not be restricted because of specialism. So with that, we're going to go with Universalist. In our Arcane Bond thing, we're not going to do the object. We're actually going to go with the Hair Familiar, because the Hair Familiar, other than taking Improved Initiative feat, is, from what I've seen, the only way for you to get +4 bonus on your initiative checks other than your dexterity. If you didn't know, initiative lets you go first in combat to be the first person during the round to maybe do some damage, a sneak attack, or to cast some spells. We're going to put our strength at 13 primarily so I can carry more stuff. We're not going to be doing a lot of melee hand-to-hand combat, but we will be doing our dexterity up to 18. That gives us an extra ranged attack. Where's our ranged attack? Right here. And some 14 armor instead of having 10 armor. For what I'm reading right here, it looks like Dexterity actually does your melee touch attack as well. That's nice. Constitution is going to go to 10. Intelligence is going to go to 18. That's going to give us a lot of extra spells. The first level, I want my Trickery up. I want my Perception and my Persuasion up because I want to be able to unlock stuff. But to get Arcane Trickster, you've got to have 4 mobility, 4 trickery, 4 arcana, and 2 sneak attack dice, and the ability to cast level 2 spells, arcane spells. Our first feat we're going to go for is Point Blank Shot because, from what I understand, it's going to give us +1 to attack and damage rolls up to 30 feet with our bows, but I believe it also works with your ranged touch attacks. Our wizard's feat is going to actually be Spell Penetration because it gives us a +2 bonus on cash level checks to go through spell resistance. Level 1 spells, I'm going to go with Hurricane Bow. You don't want to grab Mage Armor or Magic Missile or Expeditious Retreat because you get those scrolls very, very early on in the game. I will grab Burning Hands. I will grab Hypnotism, Shield, Protection from Alignment, Reduce Person, and for kicks and giggles, Snowball, because it is a ranged touch attack. You need that because the Arcane Tricksters can only do sneak attack damage with their spells if they are touch attack or range touch attack spells up until the 10th level of Arcane Trickster. Then all your damage spells get sneak attack. So now let's go into the actual leveling portion of this build. Again, whenever you pop up in your inventory, you've got a Scroll of Magic Missile, Expeditious Retreat, and Mage Armor right here. You can right click on those, click copy to spellbook, stutter a lot while you're doing it, copy to spellbook, and that adds you those spells right there to your scroll selection on your spell stuff instantly. We're gonna get rid of these. Well, let's start leveling up. At level 2, we're going for Wizard again. We're gonna go for our Trickery, our Perception, our Persuasion, and our Stealth early on. I like to grab True Strike here, and I also like to grab Protection from Alignment because you can do it's AC deflection against evil. Now here's where I messed up last time. At level 3, we're going to take Rogue, which is going to give us our first sneak attack dice that we need for Arcane Trickster. But at level 3, we also get to pick a feat. So here I will pick, after I get, oh, this is important. You've got to, right here, boost your mobility and your arcana and your trickery up as high as you can, because on the 4th level, you've got to have 4 mobility, 4 trickery, and 4 arcana, so that on 5th level, you can get your Arcane Trickster quickly. Here, the feat we can grab is Accomplished Sneak Attacker, which gives us an extra 1d6 sneak attack die, which lets us to qualify for Arcane Trickster. At 4th level, we're taking another level of Wizard. We're going to get an ability point we're putting into intelligence. It'll give us more skill points later and more spell points as well. We want more mobility, we want trickery, we want arcana, and then after that you can start plugging away with whatever you need to get. Level 2 spells are great to start picking from. I would definitely recommend you get Sense Vitals as one of your first thing, because it allows you to do sneak attack randomly, regularly, for tons of rounds, and it adds to your D6. It's really awesome. Not a lot of people know about it, but it's awesome. We're also going to grab Scorching Ray. Now at 5th level, we've already qualified for Arcane Trickster. Here, we're going to start pushing our trickery up as high as we can. We want to keep our perception and arcana along the lines of this trickery being as maxed as I can. I also want my persuasion to be high so I can get those skill checks done. At level 5, we grab Precise Shot because it doesn't make us take a -4 penalty to our attack roll with our bows within 30-foot range. Actually, it's within melee range. That's awesome. And with our ranged touch attack spells, I believe. And this is awesome. A couple more spells you can grab here. Acid Arrow is great if you know you're going to be fighting a boss. It's going to be doing some acids damage to them over a period of rounds, doing lots and lots of damage. If they're going to live long, you want to throw this on them first. But you can grab some other spells here, like Cat's Grace for some extra armor, chance to hit, and some defense. Level 6, we're grabbing our 2nd level of Arcane Trickster. 3rd level spells. If you are going through the build and you're leveling, you definitely want to grab Heroism. It's a 10-minute per level, 2 boosts to your attack rolls, saves, and skills. If you're just going through a build, you don't need this right now. If you're doing Sorcerer, you don't want to grab this. You want to grab the level 6 Sorcerer spell. Haste is going to give you an extra attack per round. It's going to give you plus dodge armor class and an attack roll, and you move faster. At level 7, we're going for Arcane Trickster again. The level 7 feat that we're going to grab is actually Greater Spell Penetration. We want to go through as much spell resistance as we can. Here we're going to grab Fireball because we like to do extra damage, and Slow to keep baddies away from us. At level 8, we're grabbing Arcane Trickster. It's going to give us an extra ability point here, which is going to make our skills, if you see here, our skill points are 5 for this level, but as soon as we click this, it puts it up to 9. Lets us grab some extra stuff going on. 4th level spells are awesome. If you're playing through, you want to grab Stone Skin. I don't have any Diamond Dust during the tutorial to show you what it really does, but it will at a point make it to where you can absorb an extra 150 hit points of damage, which makes it to where you won't stop casting a spell, and it's actually kind of considered extra hit points. But I'm not going to grab it right now. I'm going to grab Greater Invisibility because I can cast spells while being invisible, and it doesn't end while I'm attacking, which is awesome because of sneak attack stuff. We're going to grab Greater Invisibility, and we're going to grab Controlled Fireball. At level 9, we're grabbing our 5th level of Arcane Trickster. And the feat that we're going to take here at level 9 is actually Maximize Spell, because this is the first spell level, really, that we can maximize a level 1 spell like Magic Missile. Level 4, I'm also going to grab Fear to keep people away from me, and Bone Shatter to do some extra damage. At level 10, we're grabbing our 6th level of Arcane Trickster. It's going to give us our first 5th level spells possible. I definitely want to grab Polymorph because I would like to polymorph some of my friends, and Shadow Evocation is great because it gives me access per this level to be able to cast a Fireball, a Lightning Bolt, a Shout, a Volcanic Storm, or an Ice Storm spell, making me that much more versatile and universal. At level 11, again, we're going for Arcane Trickster, and the feat at level 11 that we're going to be taking is actually Heighten Spell. And the question you're going to ask right now is, Liquid, why are you taking Heighten Spell? If I want to cast a level 1 Magic Missile in a level 2 spell slot, because I've got extra level 2 spell slots or extra level 3 spell slots available, then I can make that Magic Missile fire off as a level 2 spell or as a level 3 spell all the way up to level 9th level spells, which allows me to afford me extra spell slots to just do a jack ton of magic missiles if that's what I want to do with my life. It also lets you cast it as a 9th level spell, which then lets you go through stuff like Globes of Invulnerability. As the spells allow, there's some great stuff you can grab in here. I like grabbing Constricting Coils because it keeps bad guys away from me and does damage to them, and if I want to, I can actually do a Hold Monster as well, or a Dominate Person. There's a lot of different spells in here you can do, but again, I'm building this character as a ranged character that'll hold people back, and I can get away quickly to keep distance between us. At level 12, we're grabbing our 8th level of Arcane Trickster. We're going to put another point of Intelligence, and this opens us up to 6th level spells. you are definitely going to be grabbing Greater Heroism. Instead of regular 3rd level Heroism, this gives you 4 on attack rolls, saves, and skill checks. It gives you immunity to fear and temporary hit points. So that's good. And our go-to bread and butter spell for level 6 and the rest of the game actually is going to be Hellfire Ray. It's a crazy, crazy spell. At level 13, we're grabbing Arcane Trickster level 9. And here we're going to grab the Meta Magic Feat Extend spell. Because at this point, I can start actually making my level 1 through whatever spells, my buff spells last a whole lot longer. We've got some other crazy spells that we can choose from here. Acid Fog is great. It's going to keep an area where people are going to be taking acid damage. I love that. It's going to hurt them a lot. We're going to grab that there. We have the choice of doing Disintegrate here. Elemental Assessor is also another good spell here. Disintegrate is going to do some damage. Disintegrate is a ranged touch attack, ray attack spell. So is Elemental Assessor in the same area. Transformation is a fun spell here if you want to pop haste and then transformation and then go crazy on them with your bow attacks. But again, definitely Elemental Assessor and Disintegrate, those are great spells, but just for this video, I'm showing you the benefit of these 2 spells. At level 14, we're grabbing our 10th level of Arcane Trickster, which the 10th level of Arcane Trickster gives us surprise spells. No longer do I have to cast a ranged or melee touch attack spell that does damage to add sneak attack to it. Now I can cast any kind of damaging spell and get sneak attack multiplier damage to that spell. So a fireball will now get sneak attack damage. We're keeping our trickery up and our arcana up as usual, perception up as usual. At 7th level, we get a couple more awesome spells like Polymorph Greater. Being able to turn your friend into a dragon is always fun. Umbral Strike is another ranged touch attack spell, but it does cold and negative energy. Half of it is cold, half of it is negative, and not a lot of people resist negative energy. Elemental Body is also another good one because you can turn into a huge air elemental. So there is the Arcane Trickster leveling. The rest of it from 15 to 20 is all going to be Wizard. At level 15, we are grabbing Empower spell. You can actually stack Empower with Maximize, and that's just crazy. Here at level 7, we have the option of picking Finger of Death or any of these other cool things like Dragonkind 2, but there's a Dragonkind 3 spell out there. What I like to do is I like to go through and dig into some spells that there was a different level that I wanted to grab more of. So maybe I wanted to get that Elemental Assessor. I can put that as a level 7 pick, or maybe Chain Lightning, which I do very, very much like. There are a lot of level 6, level 2 spells that I didn't get to grab that I do want to grab real quick. Another cool level 2 spell is actually Burning Arc. It's like Chain Lightning, but with fire, and it's a lower level spell, so when you're leveling up, that's a spell to pick right there. Level 16, we're going to grab our 5th level of Wizard, which is going to open us up to a Wizard bonus feat, and watch this, 4 points of skills, intellect +1 gave us 12 points, and we like that because it lets us round out some of our skills a whole lot more. Level 16, the feat that I chose to grab is actually Spell Focus Evocation, because a lot of our damaging spells are evocation spells, and our Hellfire Ray is an evocation fire spell. This gives us access to level 8 spells. We get Dragonkind 3. We're also going to get Frightful Aspect. At level 17, we're grabbing our 6th level of Wizard. And at level 17, we're getting Greater Spell Focus Evocation, adding another difficulty to them resisting or evocation spells. 8th level spell, a great choice is Greater Shadow Evocation, giving us a chance to shoot off a Chain Lightning, Cold Ice Strike, Key Shout, Sirocco, Caustic Eruption, or another Elemental Assessor spell. I also like Death Clutch or Greater Angelic Aspect, but Death Clutch does a lot of single fire damage. Polar Ray is also another ranged touch attack as well. And Polar Ray actually does a dexterity drain to them also. But I want to summon an Elder Elemental. 18th level, taking our 7th level of Wizard here. This gives us our first 9 level spells. We want to get Summon Monster 9. We also want to grab Wail of the Banshee. At level 19, we're taking another level of Wizard, Wizard level 8. And the feat that we're going to grab here is Elemental Focus Fire. You could take Elemental Focus Fire here or Elemental Focus whatever. Acid's a good one if you're doing stuff like acid spells, but since we're going to be using Scorching Ray, Fireball, Hellfire Ray, there are a lot more fire evocation spells than there are electricity or cold, and there are some good acid spells, but this fire one is really going to push our Hellfire Ray into being less chance to being resisted. There are some other 9th level spells that you guys can dork around with here, but again, I like being able to dip into other spell levels of finding some cool stuff to mess with. 6th level, I didn't grab Chain Lightning, and I want it. And I also would like to have Disintegrate. And at 20th level, we're taking our 9th level of Wizard. I'm going to grab another intelligence point here. I know you could say I put it into strength or whatever, but if we get a +5 item with this 3, it then puts us at a different level of, we get another ability bonus. You want to have the odd level there because maybe you have a +5 to intelligence helmet or something. At this level 20, I have 27 to trickery, 21 to stealth, 27 to arcana, 27 to perception, 23 persuasion, 23 use magic device. My stealth and my mobility are a little bit on the lower ends there, but those can always be beefed up using invisibility or other dexterity additional spell stuff. 9th level spell pick, I'm going to grab Dimension Door because it lets me and my teammates get out of harm's way really, really quickly, reposition ourselves on the battlefield somewhere we want. I'm also going to go and pick out a Molten Orb because it is a small 5-foot burst AoE fire damage. That completes the build. Let's see how it goes in here. Looking at us at level 20, I have 14 armor class, and we're going to start doing some buffing real quick. Popping on Mage Armor is going to give me a total of 18 armor class, as you can see right there. More chances for them not to hit me. We're going to do for our Greater Heroism, which is going to give us extra chance on our attack rolls. Right now our attack is 13. Now our attack is 17. It's pretty nice, right? Cat's Grace is going to give us extra armor class and chance to hit. So now my armor is 20 and my chance to hit is 19. We're going to do our Hurricane Bow real quick because if you check this out, I'm doing 1d8, pop on Hurricane Bow, and I'm doing 2d6. Much better. We're going to do protection from evil, throw on some shield, which is going to put us up to 24 armor class, beefy, and expeditious retreat because I like to run around really fast. Look at the speed. I like how it puts fire on you. That's pretty cool. Now, Frightful Aspect is pretty cool because it's going to give us extra armor class and gives us spell resistance equal to 10 plus half your caster level. So boom, you get a little bit bigger. You do a little bit more damage with bows, and I scare people too. Now, if you're hopping into a fight real quick, popping Haste first is going to give you an extra chance to do some damage. I like here to pop on some Greater Invisibility. Now that I've casted that, we're going to go for Transformation, which is like a Tensor's Transformation. I can't cast any spells in this mode, but my attack just went up to 30. My armor class is 34, and I'm going to get 4 attacks per round instead of just the 2 attacks. Now I like running over here now with the Tensor's it's not really Tensor's, but whatever, it's a transformation spell. I get to do some crazy sneak attack hits right now. Just with the bow, I'm gonna start hitting him for 45 sneak attack damage. It's just 3 rounds. I sneak attacked all 3 of those guys just like that. The problem with using transformation is that it makes it to where you can't cast spells, period. And right now, for some reason, I can't get out of being transformed. So here I'm going to cast Acid Fog right in front of this guy's feet, right close to mine. And then I'm going to draw them in with some sneak attack damage. As they slowly come through, they're going to take some damage, get all hung up. I still get to sneak attack them, and they all fall down and die. I want to show you the difference between doing a regular fireball that's going to do some sneak attack damage, because I am stealthy. 73, 63, and 63 sneak attack damage. But if I pop up this spell, Sense Vitals, which adds d6 to my sneak attack, and then I cast the fireball, it does a whole lot more damage. We went from 60s to 100s, 90s, and 86s. In the same aspect, there's the difference between casting a level 9 maximized heightened Hellfire Ray with regular sneak attack damage on somebody. Looking at that right there, we have to count that. 108, 102, 106, 108, 199. That's 623 damage to this guy, and it says it was reduced. So I'm thinking because he was a rogue, his reflex save helped him a little bit here. And I didn't even get any critical hits with these Hellfire Rays. But again, let's pop Sense Vitals to add to our sneak attack die. Now at this point, again, it's a maximized, heightened, level 9 Hellfire Ray. At this point, as we look at it, we hit 113, 109, 182, 184, 127, and 117, which gives us a total of 772 damage. It's over 100 extra points of damage by adding on that Sense Vitals sneak attack. I would like to see somebody, especially a non-rogue, live through this. I didn't go for Weapon Focus Ray and Improved Critical Ray because I didn't see the point of putting 2 feats into a +1 attack, +1 damage, and improving the critical range on the rays. When I tested it, I didn't see that many critical hits hitting compared to just being able to be more of a universalist and less ray focused. Again, this build with almost all my builds has trickery, which lets him to be a little bit more universal, versatile, grabbing up whatever he can, unlocking everything he can, and disarming traps. Also, I know I've mentioned this in videos before, but if you guys have never done the Jamandi Aldori cache thing, I have a video link that I'll put right here that talks about how to easily get in there. One of the other cool thing is as soon as you hit level 5, you can start auto-casting Ray of Frost, which is a ranged touch attack damage spell, getting 3d6 sneak attack damage added onto that 1d6 over and over and over again as many times as you want until you start getting better spells and better meta magic feats. But here I'm just going to launch a fireball at these guys because I can. That is a lot of sneak attack damage right there, hitting all of those guys instantly. Of course, a fireball is going to be amazing no matter what you do. So if you enjoy this type of build, I edited it up some for you guys. Let me know in the comments below what you would have done differently, and maybe recommend some extra builds for me to toy around with and stuff. I'm really enjoying playing Pathfinder Kingmaker, and I'm also looking at a couple other games that are coming out in like 2 years that I'm really starting to fall in love with, aka Realms Beyond. Thank you guys so much for watching this. Again, my name is Liquid, and I will see you guys on my next video.